Good morning. This is Wayne Bilal with another Smart Profit Maximizing Moment. Today we're going to talk about how to do business, how to profit, how to increase profits during what everybody's referring to as the new normal. Look, there's no doubt about it. You know, we've taken a hit as small business owners. Just about all of us have taken a hit. All right, and it's going to be pretty tough going forward. But good news. It's not something we haven't done before. The close down is, like I said, closing down is something new. But going through recessions is not new. All right. So there's the key, truthfully, I'm not trying to downplay it because there's little or no doubt that some businesses just are not going to reopen and others are going to reopen but not survive. All right. If you did your work, you got the PPP loans, you got an EIDL loan, they're starting to fund those. So if you'd put your application in back when I first told you to, you should be getting an email from the SBA. Make sure you pay attention to that. So, but these are Band-Aids, okay? You can burn through that cash quick while you're waiting for customers to come back. So, I mean, there's going to be some new normals that you're going to have to do, some things that you're going to have to do differently to do two things. One, to make sure to communicate to your customers that you understand their nervousness about coming back. All right. So you need to communicate to them what it is you're going to do different. My dentist, when they reopened, sent out a email talking about, we're open. Here's the things we're doing differently to ensure your safety and to ensure the safety of our employees. All right. Which is the second thing you need to do. You're going to have to make sure you do things like this and communicate them, because otherwise you're leaving yourself open to legal challenge, lawsuits. Somebody comes in and they catch it and bring it home and their grandparents die and they try to blame you. They'll try to, lawyers get involved. Anything is possible. So there is a new normal, but contrary to popular opinion, that new normal is only in regards to getting how you interface with your customer. Things have not changed, truthfully, on how to make a profit. All right. And, you have during a recession an excellent opportunity. Things are different during a recession. One, your competition, there's less of it. They've closed. What competition remains, a good chunk of them are hunkering down, saving their resources, so they're not really out there advertising and marketing. Working with suppliers, you can get a better deal or better terms with suppliers because, they need you. And you've got to be honest, you got to communicate and tell them, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to survive right now and I'm reaching out to my customers and I need a little help. Okay, maybe better pricing, maybe a different option, whatever. Who knows? Better terms. People. When we were at full employment, getting employees was tough. A lot of these stores are going to shut down, or some of your employees are not going to want to come back because, unfortunately, they're making $600 on top of unemployment, and some of them are doing better than they were when they were working. Pretty short-sighted in my mind, because a job can last for a while, and if you're unemployed for a long period of time, it's harder and harder. Sorry, something popped up. It's harder and harder to get back to work because people look at that gap. And I'll tell you truthfully, as an employer, I'm looking at that gap going, person could have got a job but didn't work very hard, was more willing to take free money and not work. And that's not probably somebody I want on my team. Okay. So it's short-sighted, but you're going to run into that where they just don't want to come back. All right. And I'm not picking on them. They may have a financial situation where they need that little extra money. I guess in a way I am picking on them because I think it is short-sighted. But, you're going to have an ability to do that. Now, when times are good and profits are easy, many business owners become a little lackadaisical about improving their business. When the economic landscape is tough, though, like it is now, that's not an option anymore. In order to survive and even thrive under the new normal in a tough economy, the business owner must become a profit coach for his business. You have to be the profit coach, all right? Most business owners don't understand that there is a formula and a process to improving profits. Now, I'm going to give you the formula. Over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, we're going to actually dive into each one of these areas. I may interrupt and get into cash flow, but here's a dirty little secret. If you're struggling for cash, one of the biggest tricks is increase your bottom line, because your bottom line is what ends up in your cash. ends up in your cash balance. All right. I sit down and say, here's how you have a massive increase in profits, or at least increase profits back to what they were before, I mean, if you could just keep your profits the same during this, or get your profits back to where they were during this downturn, when the economy picks up, you're in an excellent position to really take off, okay? So I express the formula as follows, all right? A 10% increase in qualified leads, all right? So I do whatever I need to get more leads. Add to that a 10% increase in converting these leads into paying customers. That's key. I want to be able to, okay, I did all my marketing and advertising. I got people that come in. I need to turn them into paying customers. All right, they came in I got my marketing and advertising gets them in the door. What I do from there to make a sale is up to me, and I can control that, okay? Add to that a 10% increase in annual sales amount per customer. Basically saying, get them to buy more when they're there and to come back more often. How do you do that? We're going to get into, I've literally put together lessons and courses on all this stuff. So if you go to, send me an email, I need to remember to put a link in there. I think I did in the bottom of my YouTube videos, where you can go to my Kajabi courses. And I have one that goes into this. It's a 90-day course, a take-home course. It's really pretty good. I'm also I promised you guys, once I got past all this PPP crap, that I'm going to get a coaching going, and I'm aiming for a July 4th launch, which would be a independence from all this crap. Also, add to that a 10% increase in referrals from current customers. I want my happy customers do whatever I need to do to wow them so that they're willing to refer. And a 10% increase in customer retention. Stop having customers leave. Figure out why they're leaving, reach out and get them back, all right? That equals way more than a 10% increase in sales. I've actually done, if you literally do all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps and get a 10% or more increase in each, just a simple 10%, you can have, I've seen anywhere from 48, 50 to 100% increase in sales without spending a dime on advertising, just by working on those items that you can control, all right? Add to that a 10% increase in gross margins. I have 52 steps to increase in gross margin. It's my coaching checklist that's inside that course. I'll go over it sometime, but when I'm doing the coaching that I'm planning on doing, I'm definitely going to get into that. Now, I use it and go through this 52 steps. I might find 3 or 4 that apply to a business, but it's not unusual to see a 5% increase in gross margins. If I got a company doing $100,000, that's an extra $5,000 into their pocket. If they're doing $1 million, that's $50,000. All right, and just by making some changes. And often I'm looking for 10%, so I'm talking about $10,000 if I'm doing $100,000 in sales, or a $100,000. All right, the numbers vary obviously from business to business, but I got a real big checklist of that. And then what we talked about yesterday, cutting cost. Okay, so 10%. Was that yesterday? Man, the world's gone crazy. A 10% decrease in product cost, overhead expenses, and income taxes. All right. Over the last 4 years, I've saved my clients legally over $5 million in taxes. All right. So that's a big item. When I do all these steps in what I call the profit formula, which notice a good chunk of it is sales, and then controlling gross margins, and then controlling costs, I've seen times where we have literally 100% increase in profits and bottom line, and that ends up in your pocket. Now, in a tough time, I may not see any increase. I'll see an increase from the baseline, but I often work with companies and they don't lose anything, so that they stay where they were. And truthfully, I almost always see an increase. I can't think of anybody I worked with that didn't see an increase. A massive increase in profits results in an increased cash flow and owner compensation. You can pay yourself more. Plus, you don't have to lay off your employees. And as I'm showing you, this formula and the stuff we're going to be covering over the next month or so, it's not an accident. There is no accident involved in this. It's actually knowing the profit formula and making daily improvements in each part of the profit formula. Truth of the matter is, most business owners won't do this. They're so busy. They're so busy putting out fires and working in their business that they spend no time improving it and are afraid to actually invest in themselves. I was that way for a long time. I knew better. until I got a coach to help me, and I'm still using them. All right. And I, probably won't use them as much into the future, but I intend to use them. All right. Hey, until next time, this is Wayne Blau saying, even during this tough business time, let's work together to make this our most profitable year ever. Thank you very much.